What's going on, friends and fellow Illumineers? This is Brad, aka the Mayor of Lorcana and co-host of the Rules of Villainy podcast. And this video series, however, is the local meta report here in St. Louis, Missouri, where each and every week I bring to you the latest and greatest in Disney Lorcana winning decks here in our area throughout all the different stores we are blessed to have. It is week one of Winterspell, and could not be more excited to be here to bring you 5 unique decks. Usually we have a lot of similar decks with just a few changes here and there, but it is week one of a new meta. Everybody's trying out a lot of different things, and I got some exciting things to show you today. So shout out to everybody who shared their decks as you do each and every week here, and can't wait to show them off here and celebrate your wins. And let's start with this one. And it's an Amber Amethyst deck piloted by Eddie at the Collector Store on Tuesday night, going 3-0 with this fascinating deck. As soon as he sent this to me, I thought to myself, this is what I should sleeve up for Thursday night, because it looks like a lot of fun. We're looking at a 1-drop of Island Wee and Royal Guard for a little bit of presence there, with a 2-1 with support, 1-2 with Challenger power with every draw that you do on the turn. On turn 2, I think we're looking for the Lantern. The Lantern opens up ramp for the rest of the game. There's not a lot of item removal, at least not yet, but I think the Lantern might be a problem, or it's always a problem when it comes out, but we might be seeing it a lot more this set with all of the Amber decks that I think we're going to see throughout the developing meta. But if he doesn't find the Lantern, we have the new Grandmother Willow. She's a 1-2, 2-cost uninkable quest for 1, and once during your turn, you can pay 1 less for the next character you play as long as she's sitting out on the board. And just another powerful ramp tool. I think ideally, if I'm looking at this correctly and looking at the play lines, not having played this deck, I think I'm looking for the Lantern on 2. Therefore, on 3, I can play possibly both Grandmother Willow and Mowgli to snipe something out of the hand. It depends on the matchup. I would maybe prefer Mowgli on 2 if I'm trying to get rid of a Sail or something, but that doesn't stop Tipo. So it's, dealer's choice. And again, I have not played this deck, but I'm looking at all the ramp options. You'll notice there's only 1 3-drop in here, and that is the Cheshire Cat, a 4 of at that, because all the damage moving. He turned out to be the biggest MVP of Whispers in the Well and our villain of the set. He was just that good. Easily the best card of the last set. But the reason why there's only 1 3-drop outside of the removal of the Horseman Strikes and World's Greatest Criminal Mind is because we're usually skipping a character on turn 3 with the ramp from the Lantern or Grandmother Willow. We're looking for Dumbo Genie and the new Sven. The new Sven is causing quite a lot of chaos as a 2-3 with Rush, Challenger 3, and Evasive. So he comes out and just swings 5 into something immediately. And then 1 other 4-drop here, the new Tigger, that comes out and allows you to remove a 2-cost character, item, or location back to the player's hand. So there's a lot of tempo changing there, especially for your opponent. You don't want to lose tempo yourself, but you can use it in other decks to help. You could bring a Mowgli back here and play it again later on if you're trying to get something out of the opponent's hand, for example. There are ways to benefit the bounce for yourself, or bring back a damaged character and replay it. Get the draw from Genie again. Get the rush from Sven again, who only has a 3 body, so he doesn't last a whole lot after he comes out with that initial 5 if they don't have an answer for it. Or if they do have an answer for it. But at the mid-range, we have the typical Elsa Hades Demona playline, topping off with Stitch Surfer at 4, who draws you 2 cards. I think at the time that he comes out, it's very unlikely you don't have 2 cards on the board to get that draw. And then the only other new card in the deck is Colors of the Wind, and it's singable. It allows you to look at the top card of both yours and your opponent's deck. They're both revealed to everybody, and then you draw a card for each revealed color. So really fascinating deck. Love to see it in work, or love to see it in action. I might sleeve it up myself. Eddie is fantastic, and congratulations to him. We'll see how this deck develops throughout the rest of the set. Let's move on to the next one. All right, moving on to Bodach's games on Thursday night. We have Kristen, Rules of Villaini's own, going 3-0 with Amethyst Steel. And as I always say, it would not be a St. Louis meta without Amethyst Steel making an appearance. And she has been piloting this for a long time and doing very, very well. A day tour in Richmond with probably this deck without the new cards in it. She is a tinkerer. She sent me 3 different deck list when I asked for it for this week. She said, I think it's one of these, before narrowing it down to this one, because she's always tinkering and putting things in that she thinks might work and taking things out that didn't really feel good the last time she played. Never the same deck, but always consistent results from her playing it. I sat next to her watching her play a grueling mirror match, I think round one or two, against our good friend Ron, and it could have gone either way. I was shocked to see her pull out the win by just digging and finding answers, because that's what this deck does. She found at the very end of the game, her response to win it was this new Isis Vanderchill, 4-cost uninkable. She's a 4/4 and quest for 1, and when she comes out, she exerts a character. And I don't think she had to actually dig down to her last ink to actually find that card, play it, and then have lethal on board, or Lorthal, whatever you. Oh my God, I said Lorthal. I said I was never going to do it, but I'm not re-recording this. But she found the win there, and it was an incredible game to watch. I could not believe it. Some of the play lines that she was doing that surprised me. I was like, well, you're a better player than me, because I didn't even think about that. I was going to do something entirely different as I was sitting next to her and watching. Some other notable cards in here. We are big fans of Dump Truck. Love to see him show up. He is a 1-cost uninkable 0/1. Whenever he comes out, you can deal 1 damage to a chosen character. There are a lot of 1 willpower characters that come out now on 1. We see the same here with Olaf, the bounce Olaf on 1. We saw Eilonwy in the last deck that we looked at, and there are several others, Basil, that could just be immediately picked off when Dump Truck comes on, and it is a deal damage. It's not a put, so we can't even start to ping at Calhoun or anything like that. So anyway, the other new cards in the deck are Nani, Lo-Fi Nani, as we call her here at Rules of Villainy. She is a 2-cost 1/4 that quests for 2 if she has no damage on her. So if she comes out and you don't ping her with a Dump Truck or something, for example, she's an easy 2-quester on 2. That's pretty good. But other than that, I think that is all the new cards. Again, she's tinkering and bringing things in and out all the time, finding success when she does. One spicy card that I was surprised to see in here, and was an answer again a couple weeks ago. The set championships at the collector store last week was, or not last week, but last set, was the Sword of Hercules, which is a spicy card. You don't have a lot of deities in the mirror match, but you do have that extra lore gain by establishing that and challenging with your steel character. So love seeing that spice. Pluto comes out, banishes an item, and gets 2 lore for whenever a steel character's challenged. So lots of sneaky lore there. Cobra, draw from the Yzma. Everything that you come to expect in Amethyst Steel lately. But yeah, fantastic deck. David Xanatos, that's one I also wanted to mention. It's like playing Fire the Cannons without playing Fire the Cannons. An inkable 3-cost, but you have to discard a card to deal 2 damage. And it's something that I saw her do when she was sitting next to me. So really good deck. Congratulations to Kristen. We got 3 other decks to talk about tonight. So let's continue on and see what those are. All right, moving on to Manticore Game Shop out in O'Fallon, Missouri. We got Captain Inkswell, Rules of Villainity's own Steven, one of 2 3-0s on the night. This one is Disco Inferno. This is Amber Sapphire. This is allegedly the boogeyman of the set, and for good reason. It now has the new board wipe that is Raging Storm. Banish all characters. 8-cost uninkable action, and this deck gets to 8 so fast. I played a matchup with Andy at Bodach's on the same night where I loaded up my board and I should have known better, because he was just ramping straight to Raging Storm, wiping the board and taking full control. And he does that so effectively. Steven here, in this case, it does it with Tipo, and then into Cindy, then into Moana. And it just activates Cindy again. And then Moana lets you start discarding from, or not discarding, inking from the discard. It is absolutely insane. Your sales, I didn't mention sale at the beginning, but Tipo and Sail on 2, if you use Sail, you can just ink it with Moana now once she is established. It is incredible. She is one of the new cards here, followed by Pete at the 5-cost, that every time you boost him, you put another card under him. It's a big vision of the future. For every card under him, whenever he quests, you look at that many cards from the top of your deck and take one of them. So it's just a bigger vision of the future, potentially. I don't know if it ever gets up to 5 before somebody deals with it, but the other top end here is the Carefree Surfer, the Hades, hard removal, 4 of each of those. And then what's the spicy card here? I have not seen this considered yet, is the Donald Duck I don't have his title. Coin collector. He's a 4/8 quest for 2. And whenever he comes out on that turn only, when you play this character, your other characters gain exert to draw a card. I don't know. I mean, that is a good feature if that's what you want to do. But I think what the biggest synergy of this card is in this deck, other than that draw power, is the 4/8. He has an 8 body, and what that synergizes with is the new Ohana Means Family card. Steven's running 2 of those. It is a 3-cost inkable action that removes all damage from a chosen character, then draw that many cards. Chosen character of yours, I should very much specify, because I've wanted to do it on my opponent before, and I just couldn't. But Ohana Means Family, such a beautiful card, such a beautiful enchanted, is what all the enchanteds in this set are absolutely incredible. Steven, I know you don't have all these enchanted. Stop trying to fool me. But beautiful art, and that Ohana on the Stitch, the Ohana on the duck, anytime you're getting draw is good. But if you can load up the damage and draw 7, like get 7 damage on this duck or Stitch, and then hit him with an Ohana, you are just cooking. There are 36 characters in this deck, which brings me a little bit of pause. There's not a lot of characters, or if you're looking at this, there are a lot of actions and one single item, the Black Cauldron, which is a great tool to bring things out of your discard into the cauldron and play again later on. So I do like its inclusion. We got the zombie Lilo, if you will, the escape artist with her proper name, that can find her way into the discard and be played for free, and then being played out of the cauldron later even. So I don't know if you ever put Lilo in the cauldron when you can just pull her out of the discard. I don't know, but this I'll have to talk to Steven about that play line. But we did hear some cool things, even on Podcana recently, with Lilo, Surfer Stitch, and the new 12-cost Grammatala that is free for, or 1 ink cheaper for every ink in your inkwell, where you can do some sick combos in the late game there as well with a free 12-cost 6/6. So, something to consider. If I had to add anything in here, I like throwing spicy things in there, but I wouldn't need to, because Steven has proven this is a 3-0 deck, and can't wait to see what he does with it for the rest of the set. Congratulations to you, my man. We'll see you on here again, I am sure. All right, moving on to our second 3-0 of the night at Manticore Game Shop out in O'Fallon. We have Brandon going 3-0 with what I can't believe I'm about to say, maybe my favorite deck of the week in Amber Steel hero/aggro. He calls it Rockstar Phil. The reason why he does that is he has the 4-drop Philoctetes, and there, whenever you play a hero character, gain 1 lore. He has 36, if I counted correctly, heroes in this deck. So the dream is to get the Rockstar Stitch out there, have Philoctetes established, and then just start spamming the board with heroes. But before we get to that point, let's look at the rest of the deck. It is some mean play lines. At the 1-drop, we have, of course, Daisy, Lilo, and Mulan. Mulan arguably is the most important, because that will allow you to pitch an escape artist Lilo into the discard. It will allow you to throw an extra dock in the discard. These are all notes that Brandon included in his deck list that I highly implore you, if you're interested in this deck, to check out below in the link in the description, because he has everything figured out in the way that why he built this deck the way he did, and it sounds exciting. But yeah, you can pitch the extra dock, you can pitch the Lilo into the discard. He even says you can pitch the bundled up Lilo, which is my favorite art of this set and gives me even more desire to play this deck, to make that Lilo hit the boards from my side. But in doing, the reason why you would be doing that is because when you shift out or bring out the Rockstar Lilo later on, you can play that card from the discard for free. And it's still hard to deal with, because you have to run 2 things of removal into it, if you have the songs or the actions or whatever else. The first time she would take action on a turn, she just doesn't. She has too many layers of clothes on to even feel your snowballs. But moving on through the rest of the deck, Grandmother Willow, it opens up just an incredibly annoying play line, as Brandon describes. Daisy on 1, Grandmother Willow on 2, and then just play another Daisy for free, because why not? And if you're playing at the same shop as Steven, as we just talked about, who was playing like 30 actions in his deck, that Daisy is essentially going to get you 2 lore and take away, his ramp or his visions or one of those actions, and not give the opponent a draw. So if Sapphire Amber becomes as prominent as people say they are, with all those actions and all of those things that aren't characters in the deck, Daisy just eats, right? So just absolutely incredible. And I can't believe how much I love this display line right now. It's very low to the ground. It maxes out at like 3 or 4 ink. He said very rarely do you play Lilo or Stitch without shifting them. You have 36 Lilos, or not 36, 16 Lilos in the deck. You have probably just as many Stitches, maybe a few less. Yeah, a few less Stitches. But yeah, Mowgli comes out to remove removal, or to take removal out of the opponent's hand. We have Pudge, 4 of Pudge, of course. With all these Lilos, he's essentially always going to be free when you play him. For per his text, play this card for free if you have a character named Lilo in play, and then hand replenishment with Doc and Rockstar Stitch. Just drawing for every low cost character that you're playing out exerted over and over again. So as long as you have the ink. Really, really fun deck. Not surprised this went 3-0. I'm actually surprised I did not know about this deck ahead of time. And people are cooking. It's week 1. Everybody's cooking right now. And this is something to watch out for. I'm very, very impressed. Congratulations to you, Brandon. This isn't your first time on here. And I would not be surprised if we see more decks like this in the future. In fact, we're about to see one more Amber Steel deck right now.
And that deck belongs to Lili from our good friends at Lorcana Collections. Check out the link in the description below. Great, wholesome content. What Disney Lorcana is all about, playing games and opening packs and having a lot of fun. But she's also a great player, going 3-0 at the collector store with Amber Steel song / aggro. It's just Amber Steel, and it got the job done. This, for all intents and purposes, is Skylar's deck from Podcana. They modeled it from that, but they had to make some changes, probably from card availability. Like I said, it's week 1. Not everybody has all the cards they need. They took out 2 of the legendary Angel that we will talk about, and 3 of the legendary Namari from a few sets ago that you don't see here. But they substituted 3 Bambi and 2 Snowboarder Stitch, which we'll talk about now. The Bambi was an absolute unit in our pre-release weekend for draw power. He is a 4-cost inkable 3/5 quest for 1 and boost 2, being a whisper. During your turn, whenever this character exerts, reveal a number of cards from the top of your deck equal to the number of cards under him. Put all revealed character cards into your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. And that is simply on exert. He could sing, he could challenge, he could quest. Anytime he exerts, you are looking at those cards, getting character draw. Absolutely great. And a lot of character draw, because there's only 12 actions in this deck that he could miss on. So shout out to Bambi. Bambi rules. I love this card, and I want to use him a lot more in my decks, but we'll talk about those another time, probably on the podcast. Angel here is a 4-cost inkable 3/3 with resist 2 when you have no cards in your hand. A little bit anti-synergetic to Bambi and the cards that can get a lot of cards at a time, but she does have, I shouldn't say she's anti-synergetic, because the more cards you have, the more you can use once per turn. Choose and discard a card to deal 2 damage to a chosen character. So that comes into a lot of play. I've seen a lot of Angel being used in practice. So Angel is a very, very good card. Snowboarder Stitch, Carefree Snowboarder, is just a lighter version of the Carefree Surfer that we've known and loved since set 1. He's a 4/5 quest for 2. If you have 2 or more characters in play, you may draw a card upon quest. Not when he's played, but when he's quested. We have Akud Etamuti. That is a shout out to the inkery Chris that lives rent free in my head when he was going through the new cards. That is a 3-cost uninkable song. You pay 2 less for the next character you play this turn, and you draw a card. So that is a fun addition. The other new card in the set is Nani, Stage Manager. When you play this character, look at the top 4 cards of your deck. You may reveal a character card with 2 cost or less and put it in your hand. Put the rest at the bottom of your deck in any order. So a lot of deck siphoning, or filtering, I should say, with this deck already. But yeah, you got your draw with Doc. You got your pitch with Mulan to get that Lilo in the discard, so she becomes free, or not free, but playable from the discard. You got your singers in Truby and Ursula. You got Aurora on 1 to bring your princess characters out for free. There's not a lot of princesses. I think that's only going to affect herself, Mulan, and Ariel on 4, a whisper from the last set. That is a 2-quester 3/4, and anytime you sing a song with a card under her, or a song is played with a card under her, you can draw a card from that as well. So Akud Etamuti, for example, will draw you 2 cards in that case, 1 from Ariel, 1 from Akud, and then Strength and Thunderbolt for a little bit more
board control there as well. But ultimately, yeah, I almost said Lilo. Lili got it done against Jerry on Racers in 3. Against her own father, Nick, was on Sapphire Steel Detectives in 3 games. And then she got a 2-0 on Veronica on Sapphire Amber, probably. If I know Veronica, it was the Detectives build that her and I have been playing for the last month, but she might have evolved into the new Sapphire Amber that we talked about just a little bit ago with Steven. So curious to see how those decks are going to develop as the set goes on. Congratulations to Lili, first and foremost. And yeah, this isn't her first time on here. It won't be her last. Love to see the younger generation making its way to the top tables. And yeah, let's move on to the outro. And that's going to do it. That's going to wrap up week 1 of the Disney Lorcana Winter Spell local meta report here in St. Louis. Thank you to everybody who submitted their decks to allow me to continue to make this content set after set. Congratulations on your success, because this whole video series is about celebrating you and giving ideas to the rest of the Disney Lorcana community who may tune in and see a deck that looks like a lot of fun. And there are several on this video and in the videos past that hopefully have inspired more players to check out some things. So again, congratulations and thank you to all of you. Thank you to everybody else who tuned in to make these videos what they are. We appreciate you tuning in to whether it's this, the podcast proper, Deck Test Tuesdays, or any other kind of Rules of Villainy content, which you can find on this channel when you like, subscribe, hit the bell for notifications for any kind of content that we provide for you. Hopefully, we'll be having a lot more for you here in the future. Vince is actually down at DLC Melbourne and can't wait to hear his takes on everything and how exciting that was to be down there. So tune into the podcast this week or whenever Vince is back. He's going to have some shorts. He's always pulling up he's always posting shorts of pack openings and all kinds of fun things. He's already posted a bunch from down in Australia already. So definitely check those out. It's a blast having him down there, having a lot of fun with the game as we all do. And yeah, I'm just kind of rambling now. I've been at this for a while and just happy to be back. Thank you guys for tuning in. We will see you next time. And until then, happy questing.